Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another day, another draft here on Arena. I'm Monoloy, and we're going to jump into some games with Final Fantasy. So far, very nice set, very interesting mechanics, new stuff to explore. Let's see what we can do today. And as always, if you like what you see here, like, subscribe, share. If you disagree with some of the plays, it's always nice to hear some thoughts, so comments and whatever else you can do to help us here grow a little bit the channel will be definitely very welcome. And let's jump in another one. So far, people are still trying to figure out what to do in this new set. So I hope that we can find like some good lanes. For now, I'm feeling like rares, of course, always drives the deck in some way, but knowing what to do, especially around like pick 5 and finding your lanes, it's the best thing you can do. So let's see what we get here. To start, we have two very big cards here in Edgar. Big Blue one, definitely used for artifact decks, as you would draw cards from that. But I'm not sure I would start with a 6-drop. Yeah, although it definitely is a good one. The second ability just doesn't work for us, because like flip coins, not the kind of thing we're going to do. 7 mana for the Crystals Chosen. Very, very big payoff. Creating 4 creatures and then adding counters to all of your creatures means that you are putting at least 8 power and toughness into play at the very least, or like much more with the counters. Cargo Ship, another very good card for artifact decks. It comes down early, ramps you, and like hitting with Vigilance, definitely very interesting when we add up Flying and Vigilance. Overkill, probably the best removal in the set for 3 mana, killing anything. And Vanille, bringing some value back. I think I'm going with the Cargo Ship. It's a light drop, is still already taking us into the direction of artifacts, but not necessarily. Let's see what we got. Pick 2. Lauren of the Third Path. Okay. Garnet is the name they give here, but it's actually a reprint. And it's an interesting one in a set where we have like many artifacts and enchantments. It definitely could do something for us. Having Vigilance, definitely good, so it could play both defense and offense. But being a 2-1 body, not the best for 3 mana. What else we have? Good draw for the Towns deck. We have this Great Sword. I don't like it very much because like paying 3 life is something you don't often want to do. It's more for the 2-for-1, like 3 mana for 1 most of the times. Reach the Horizon for a ramp deck. Definitely doesn't play well with the Cargo Ship, more artifact stuff. And out of the regular common cards, I think the best one is definitely Thunder Magic. Solid removal, can go for 2 damage, can go for 4 damage later on. Plays well with the blue theme of bigger mana cost we have here with Sahajin, for example. So solid pick here. Okay, we're starting with some good red, good black. We have Sephiroth's Intervention here, hard removal, solid card. Ice Magic, again, as Thunder Magic, we have another option of scaling the costs. So you can play it early, you can play later in the game, definitely a good one. Samurai's Katana, definitely very good, especially for equipment decks. Maybe artifacts decks could take some advantage of it as well. For example, playing a cargo ship would helps us cast the katana. But right now I'm looking more into Ice Magic or Suplex. Uh, Thinking about the potential of the removal, like I prefer Thunder Magic than Cargo Ship, because Cargo Ship's like most used in a artifact deck, but Thunder Magic can play anywhere, so I think Suplex complements well the Thunder Magic. Although we are not taking like creatures so far, I would go with the Suplex, making sure we have solid removal to add with our creatures later on. Okay. Speaking of creatures, I don't see any like good creatures. Nothing that special. Gaius is definitely a good one if you can like make it asymmetrical. For example, when you ask just both players to sacrifice a token, but only the opponent has one with a job select, for example, they're the only ones losing something. The same goes for the enchantment mode. The only one that is impossible for you to not lose anything, it would be the sacrifice non-creature, the second mode. So interesting card if you can make it asymmetrical. If not, not that good. Caldemont and Chocobo, it's what I'm looking here. can give us some consistency, make sure add the body to the table, keeping us in the right color. I wouldn't move in the third color here. And Barrett goes with equipments, and we don't have equipment so far, so kind of makes sense. Okay. Now that we are already in pick 5, we are supposed to see some signs showing up, like what is open and what is not. Zidane is not a big one because like stealing a creature is not actually any theme, but Chocobo Kick could be a sign that green could be open. Simple removal spell, definitely efficient with landfall trigger, so Call the Mountain Chocobo would be a little bit better because we can force another land to come. Mizidian Elder, a simple 2 for 1, like 3 mana, 2 bodies into play, and then pinging is definitely relevant. I heard comments that I'm saying definitely too much, so I'll try to reduce that. Merchant, solid creature here, defensive. Let's try the Chocobo Kick since we haven't seen much blue. Okay, yeah, and maybe it pays off because like right now we have like 2 green, interesting green cards. Fire Magic is not bad, but I don't see myself playing it because just cleaning out creatures is not necessarily what you want to be doing. It's always better to be a little bit more proactive or asymmetrical, as I mentioned with that black card. Adding a counter to creatures like a value play doesn't directly impact the board, but definitely can add some value later on in the game. And Town Greeter for the consistency here, making sure you hit all your land drops. I think I'm going with the creature here. The Shupuf is for sure better, but okay, now we have a clear sign. Ultros here, for sure. I'm saying definitely too much. Great card here because we can cast for 2 mana, early presence in the board, and then casting 4 plus with Thunder Magic or Call the Mountain Chocobo, we can tap something down and have this nice 2 for 1. Stuck in Summoner's Sanctum, one of the best removals you can find because since it also prevents activated abilities is interesting. Let's go for the creature first and later we go. We already have some removal here in Thunder Magic and Suplex, so interesting one. Okay, right now, I think it's between these 2 picks here, the Rexor as a big creature if we're going green with Chocobo Kick and Town Greeter, or staying red with Call the Mountain Chocobo, again, hitting land drops and having a 4 plus spell to cast, being a 2 for 1. I think I'm going with the Call the Mountain Chocobo. We can splash this for later since they are common cards, but we're going to leverage on Ultros a little bit better right now. Okay. And if we're going this direction, we don't necessarily need Dreams of Laguna because although the flashback could be interesting, playing 2 cards for 1, like drawing early on and then drawing later, I think I would go with Baron and having some more consistency. If we go 2 colors, that's the way to go. If later we decide to go on 3 colors, at least we have 1 land, which helps us fix for that. Okay. Now on the way back, it would be between greens and Sahagin. I will go with Sahagin just because I think I'm liking red-blue a little bit more than red-green. But it's definitely a good pick here, keeping that theme of landfall with Call the Mountain Chocobo, for example, making sure you hit your land drops, and then having a true drop there is basically a spell, so it counts very well. Okay, going to the end of the pack here, Ice Flan. Top end for us can be an Island Cycling. I doubt it goes to the final deck, but it's not a bad card at all. And Airship Crash, it has been much better than I thought, because it's a removal for almost anything, like almost any deck will have this stuff. Nothing too big for us here. We don't have equipment so far for Barrett to play well. And apparently for now we're going again with blue-red, but apparently green could also be open there. Okay, so yeah, blue and green, so the 2 colors we're in doubt. So for now, I'm going to remove the green cards here so we can see our deck a little bit more clearer. Barrett for now has like no way of playing, and Ice Flan would be a filler card, so let's remove these things here. So, okay, we start pack 2 with one of the best rares in the set. Xenos is huge here because choosing only 1 creature to save and applying -2/-2 Two other creatures can definitely wipe the board, and which would be huge. And we also have this other ability that is, if the only that creature you chose to survive die, you turn this into an 8/8. And of course, the second ability doesn't work like when it's transformed into Shinyu, but having an 8/8 flying sounds like a good deal. The other option here is Sleep Magic, which is a solid removal we could play. So between these two, I don't think we have like any support for the black cards, and at the same time, we don't have any big things for the blue cards. So I could see myself testing that. I would stick in the color just for consistency. Okay, pick two now. Nothing interesting in the uncommon slots here, but in commons we have Syncopate as probably the best one for us here. We don't need a third called the Mountain Chocobo. Coordinated by Black Mages is a very good card because we have a removal there, sacrificing creature and adding a body, so classic 2-for-1 here. I'm going with Syncopate. Easy to hit that sweet spot of 4 plus non-creature spell to trigger our 2 creatures here, and good early on as well to show some interaction. We haven't seen many of those like huge payoffs, so Esper Origin would play very well if we were green. Apparently we're not, but if the signs are still there, we kind of still have time to do something like that. Esper Origins generating some value, like card selection on the first mode, so the first time you play it is not impactful, but on the second mode with 4 mana, definitely plays well. Generating real card advantage, adding mana, and then having this kind of overrun effect. Since I think we need some creatures, yeah, only 2 creatures too low. Let's go with Sahajin here. Again, playing very well with the other cards. And has been surprising because Sahajin plays very well early on for the defense. Like, okay, you are not attacking that well, but at least you are not taking those damage from those 2 mana creatures that are always so common, especially in white decks and red decks. So it's a good one. Best cards here in the pack. For us, definitely the Dragoon's Wyvern. 2-for-1, you have a flying creature and you have a hero to hold back in case you need. We also have a nice Gardener here if we were to go in that red-green direction. Haven't seen much red on this side. The Savagers, very nice card for sacrifice decks, either black-red or black and white. So good consideration for someone else. Item Shopkeep, not the best since we don't have any equipments, and the Gigas here, it's a giant, is a big creature for the end, but not necessarily what we need. Okay, yeah, green's definitely open with Fat Chocobo here. There is another cargo chip, but for now we have literally 0 artifacts, so there's no big value in picking this up. But Combat Tutorial, on the other hand, it definitely looks very nice. Right now we only have 1 Dragoon's Wyvern, so 1 3-drop, so adding another 3-drop that could pump one of our 2 mana creatures here and drawing 2 cards. Make sure we can still keep on playing later on the game, so very easy pick here. Okay. Now we have another reprint in Yuriko. Good card, but since we don't have many ninjas in the format, this wouldn't play so well. Stiltskin, interesting creatures, especially good if you're trying to avoid some removal. So the opponent targets you with removal, and then you give them the card, and then you draw a card. So interesting option here for us. But I would go with the Nulliths, is the only like either blue or red card. So apparently people are playing with these colors on the other side. So the only real option for us here. Okay, no, not like no really good cards for us here. 2 options, I can see some good white going on here. These common cards are good for sure, and we could play them. I see that red is really drying out, so I'm going to speculate on this Mage Tech Infantry, because I don't want to play this Ifrit, and if I could get some white cards here and maybe pivot in the last minute is still possible. Oh, what is this? Oh, Command Beacon. Okay, I hadn't seen this one yet, so okay. Big green payoff here, not what we're looking for. Third Call the Mountain Chocobo, not what we were looking for. So I'm actually going to go with the Rexor because I don't see myself playing 3 of these Call the Mountain Chocobo, but I could see myself pivoting to green as well. So since we already have some solid base here, I can see the green being a reason. And yeah, green is definitely open with the Chocobo Kick, so another removal here in green. Gladiolus is not a bad card at all, but for now we can see that we have like very solid blue, more than the red or the green, so a double splash could be a bit hard to pull off. So let's try another removal and see where it takes us. Okay. Again, no blue cards, no red cards. I'll take the green one just to make sure we have something in case we pivot to green. World map wouldn't be a bad idea if we end up being 3 colors. I would like to avoid that if possible, but yeah, let's at least keep a third color alive in this case. Yeah, no red at all, so I think maybe we should be going to blue, to green. Yeah, blue and green would be an option because Thunder Magic and Suplex, their removal is fine, but Call the Mountain Chocobo is just a kind of filler level card, so not the best thing. Still going with Gigas in case we stay in red. Okay, between Haste Magic and Syncopate, we don't have these many creatures, so I would go with Syncopate. So pack 3, we're definitely looking for creatures here, or big green things to move on to. Okay, and we were rewarded. Solid red creature, solid blue creature here. Summon Bringhilder. This set has so many weird names. I don't know why they do this, but okay. People who play Final Fantasy, you can help me later. So, 2 mana for a 2/1 that replace itself by exiling the top card and let me play it for the next turns, as long as this is still into play. And in case if it's a creature, and actually any creature you cast will have haste, so it doesn't need to be the card that you exile with the first ability. So very, very interesting card here. Definitely valid for a first pick. Comes early on, like turn 2, even if it's a heavier card, like at 4 mana cost, you can still play it later. Okay, but now the second pick is very sad for us, because like there are no like blue or red cards on like 4 mana here in Rook Turret. If we see again, we have like only one artifact, so this wouldn't be triggering at all. The green cards, on the other hand, are like definitely showing up, like greens as a filler level card, Chocobo to be the first spell you play in the game, definitely a very solid one, and Rexor as a big one. We already have a Rexor, so right now we're at that crucial moment. Gilgamesh, not for us, it's an equipment card, we have nothing. I'm actually going with the Chocobo here, just because I'm having this feeling that we're going to pivot or end up with a crazy 3-color deck that is not getting anywhere. Ooh, solid blue here in the Lunar Whale. Feels like a strange effect, paying 4 mana to bring a vehicle into play. This is usually not something you would be interested in doing. But looking at the top card of any time, although it doesn't sound the best, may help you plan for the future turns. But the second ability is the big one. As long as the whale attack this turn, you may play the top card. So imagine drawing, I don't know, at least 2 extra cards with 1 land on the top and 1 spell that you could cast later. And it's important because it's just attack. It doesn't even need to connect and hit your opponent for this effect. For that reason, definitely a good pick for us here. Okay, another Ultros, very good one. So increasing our creature count. The Lunar Whale is also a non-creature spell, so it triggers our Ultros. Solid pick here. If one is good, 2 is better. Yeah, giving this consistency. The fact that the body is a 2/1 is also valid for us here, because it can die pretty easily, so having a second one as a backup is good. Yeah, is a third one also good? Now I'm actually not sure, because like having 2 in hand is kind of sad, because if people just never remove it, you're never going to play a second one. It becomes a dead card. Again, looking at equipments, artifacts in general, we don't have 2, so Edgar is not the best pick. So let's go with the Wyvern here. Feels that sweet spot here right now. We don't have many 3-drops, only 2 of them, and 1 is a creature, so another Wyvern is going to play well, filling this role. Okay, we are doing well in finding creatures this last pack. Although right now we don't have any good like red options, Sorcerer Scheme is definitely not a good one. Heavy cards here a lot, like for ramp decks, so apparently nobody's exploring the ramp decks. I'm looking at Fat Chocobo versus Blazing Bomb. Fat Chocobo is definitely a better card, but for the amount of cards we have, like Blazing Bomb is the only real option for us, since apparently we're not playing green, so... Okay. Staying in blue here, we have two options between Realm Sketching and Sahajin. Like our creature count has already improved a lot, so I think it's time we can take the Realm Sketching. Copying a creature, artifact, or land is amazing. We haven't seen this effect like this way ever, so it's a very interesting thing because it can copy like things from the opponents as well. So we can take their best creature for us as well. Okay, and very good that we did that. We took the uncommon card that would be harder to find, and we keep the common one, easy to find, is Sahajin again. Realm Sketching being the 4-drop, also very good to play with the Sahajin, the Ultros, and the other things we have. Okay. We're getting to the end, and now I think people finally gave up on this and let us be happy here with some good final drops. We definitely don't want another Call the Mountain Chocobo, but a Wyvern helping us in the air and then our creature count. So very interesting here. Yeah. Although we don't have many artifacts, if needed be, I would play a Rock Turret. Sabo Tender in the 2 mana slot, we don't need that. We apparently have like 6 creatures here, so we don't need another random 2-drop. I would rather have a flying 1 that is an artifact, even though probably we're not going to play it. Okay, Unexpected Request. Trying to steal a creature is always interesting, and then we could bring an equipment together with that. Haste Magic, the Decepticon option, or Damper to protect ourselves. I would go for the cheap one in Damper. Not bad at all. And then another Blazing Bomb. This is like a filler level card. I'm not impressed with this at all, but apparently we need at least one more playable, so could be an option. 2 Blazing Bombs early in the game could definitely hit a bit. And then Call the Mountain Chocobo may be our option here. With 3 of them, I can see us playing less 16 lands easily. And then last one, no need to worry about. Okay. Not a powerful deck, I would say. Yeah, I think we could have been, like, you should have been maybe green, because we could see, like, some green going on. We had, like, the Chocobo here, Chocobo Kick, Town Greeter, Rexor, so we could have gone into this green direction. We would have definitely the removal for that, so would be an option. For now, let's see what we got. Right now, I don't mind seeing 41 cards here because it's very common for you to see decks playing 16 lands. Nowadays, we have the Arena Hand Smoother that would help you with this, like making sure you have a better ratio between spells and lands, so it would be interesting. Looking at what we got right now, yeah, we don't have any of the big creatures here. Nothing like 5 mana, like a Summon Shiva would be very interesting here. We have the ones that would pay off with playing 4 mana or more spells, such as Ultros and Sahajin. So we need to make sure we keep our 4 mana slot here busy. So 5 spells is a good place to be here. At the same time, it's not that heavy that you feel like you would never cast. So although Call the Mountain Chocobo is not like the best card to be playing, okay, it makes sure we hit our land drops, it brings a creature into play, can be recast from the graveyard, so it generates a lot of value for these 2 cards to actually shine. So, and bringing, at least it's bringing something to play, it's not just drawing cards or not affecting the board. So we also have Thunder Magic that could go higher during the game. We have Syncopate that could go higher in mana value during the game. So you see now we have like very heavy pack here for the 4+ costs. And this 4+ cost would trigger right now at least 7 creatures in our deck. So a big deal here. I'm in doubt about this Blazing Bomb if I test it or not, because like just playing a 1 mana 1/1 without a real impact doesn't sound the best. But if we're in doubt here about playing it or not, we need to think about its second ability, that is trying to kill something, dealing damage equal to its power. So let's think about this. How much removal do we have to make this worth? If we don't have enough removal, maybe this card like goes up in our analysis. And removal spells, we have Sleep Magic here, we have Suplex, we have Thunder Magic, and that's it. So yeah, only 3 removal spells. Syncopate is definitely is an interaction we should account for. So countering a spell counts as interacting because like the creature just never hits the board. but only 4 ways to directly interact with something. It's not where you want to be. You probably want more than that. So for that reason, I think Blazing Bomb should stay in the deck, making sure we have some way to kill creatures on the board when they come. Let's see what else we have here. 12 creatures, that is not bad at all, especially for a spells deck. And Call the Mountain Chocobo brings more creatures into play. Realms Catching is probably going to be copying a creature, unless the artifact is extremely good. I don't see this copying a land at all. Lunar Way is like half a creature, because we can crew it later. So at least it could block as a 3/5 or attack as a 3/5. And having these extra options, so like 5 more options of making creatures of sorts, makes me not want to play the Nuliths very much. Also, we already have at least like 6 2-drops, 2 1-drops, so I don't see myself playing this one. I can remove it. The damper here. Okay, so the thing is, this offers hexproof, so it's protecting us from removal spells. What are the creatures we would like to be protecting? Ultros, for sure, and the Lunar Whale would need some protection eventually, and that's it. So I wouldn't spend like 1 mana to protect a Wyvern that is a 2/1, unless in a very specific cornered moment of the game. Unless my Sahajin is like hitting them for 3 or more that I would protect. So right now I don't like this Magic Damper so much. Let's see what else we have in our pool to see how we can build our deck. So for now we have 40 cards, but we're going to analyze Magic Damper versus something else. I'm going to bring the other cards back to their places. Actually, Syncopate I'm going to keep here, because in the ideal world I would spend this amount of mana. Suplex stay in this 2, Thunder Magic stays here. Okay, let's see what other options we would have, specifically comparing to Magic Damper. Cargo Ship, again, we don't have enough artifacts for that to be useful. The Merchant, just a defensive creature, would occupy a nice slot here, but like has no synergies with the other things we're doing. Turret as the Cargo Ship, no artifacts. The Flan being a big creature is something we can look into. We're already thinking about playing 16 lands, and right now we are at 17. So between the Gigas with Mountain Cycling, these with Island Cycling, and 3 Call the Mountain Chocobos for lands, it's easy to fit a big creature here that could tap something out and put a stun counter on it. So I think it's the best option for now. Another Syncopate wouldn't be bad at all if we're comparing like Magic Damper to Syncopate. The idea of, okay, this is protecting from a removal spell. This is also protecting from a removal spell. The only difference would be the mana cost. And okay, like I need to leave at least 2 mana open for a Syncopate, while whereas for Magic Damper I would need to leave more than that. I think the tiebreaker here is the fact that Syncopate can go in the like 4+ mana cost to help us our 7 creatures here. So yeah, I'm inclined to remove the damper and go with the Syncopate. Hasn't been bad for me playing with 2 Syncopates, because like people kind of expect the first one, but they never expect the second one. So it's interesting for this reason. And this one only protects against like basically removal spells. Maybe it could like, because it also untaps a creature. I could see myself like untapping and then, blocking a creature as a surprise and then removing the creature. But it's kind of a narrow situation. We have like the creatures are 2/1, so they're probably not going to trade up very well. And on the other hand, like Syncopate can maybe counter a creature, which counts as a removal of sorts. So yeah, I think I like this configuration. The fact that we have like 2 land cyclers and 3 Count the Mountain Chocobos. It's easy for us to play with 16 lands here. The only thing left to do is to see, okay, we have more blue than red. And for that reason, we remove 1 red source here. 40 cards, good deck. And let's play some games, see what happens. Okay. Going to round 1 here. Hoping to get... the sweet spot for a Premier Draft is 4 wins, because you pay 1,500 gems to play a Premier Draft, and then with 4 wins, you already get back 1400 gems. So only 100 gems for the packs you open, and the extra packs you get as a prize is definitely enough. But I would say that at least 3 wins is what you're always looking for when playing drafts, because it gets at least 1000 gems, so like 2/3 of your entry fee get back to you. They come back to you, and of course, you always draft some rares and some different cards. So I would say, very least, let's always try to go for 3 wins. 4 wins, okay, and then from that on is just profit for us. Uh, I mentioned this before, coming here on the first game, easy hand to play, like 2, 3 drops. Never play an island if you have a syncopate in hand, because it will always show your opponent that you have, even if it's offering to counter just for 0. So, yeah. Let's start summoning this Bring Boy. Okay, the Lunar Whale. Again, very important here, I mentioned this earlier. I can play this in any turn I put a lore counter. So turn 3 I will see this, turn 4 I will see this, unless he removes it. And by the looks of it, I think... Oh, that's so sad. We lost like 2 rare cards in a single turn. Oof, hard. Okay, right now, let's go Wyvern. That's what we can do. Let's bring creatures to the board. Yeah, this was a heavy one, like losing a 4-drop and then drawing a land. It's definitely going to hurt us later. And we couldn't even get the haste on the creature, so in the end it was just a 2/1 that had a removal taken. Okay, Ifrit here, interesting card for them, is going to hit for 3, but it's not going to last for long. We are getting kind of flooded here. Yeah, definitely a bad place to be. Let's hit them for 2. And now we're between adding another creature to the board or holding up Syncopate. At 4 mana, yeah, 4 mana, they are going to choose their draw. They already did this once, they are going to do twice, but I think let's risk it by at least adding something to the board while we can, and holding Syncopate for maybe a bigger mana play. Also, think like this, if we didn't play the Economon Chocobo, it will always cost 4 mana, while Syncopate can cost like any amount of mana depending on how much you can pay. So this can be good in different stages of the game. A 4 mana play on turn 4 tends to be like the best it can be. So yeah, flooding out a little bit here. We have only cast like 2 things here, 3, and then we have a 4th card, and then on the red seeing 7 lands, so... Okay, tapped land's good for us, so probably they are not exploring the most of their mana. But a pretty good card. Yeah, X-Death here can be very, very good, especially as we go later in the game with 6 or more permanents. It's not something hard to get. But it's a ground creature, so we can hold back pretty easily with the board we have now. For now, yeah, let's go Ultros here. Easy play, and then still keep some counter mana up. Okay, keep hitting them in the air. Yeah, just the fact that they didn't attack shows that it was the right time to add something to the board, so... Ooh, Terra. The problem is that's going to stick, because it costs like almost nothing, so we can't counter it. Milling 5 cards, putting 1 enchantment in the hand, and then transform. So transforming is actually going to be the problem here, because... Let's see what it does. Copy of another non-legendary enchantment. So yeah, unless they have another enchantment, right now they only have the summon Ifrit, and this is going away next turn. So this by itself is not the best, and has the opportunity of copying many times and then adding lots of mana and then bringing it back. Yeah, doesn't look like the best. Like they will spend their whole next turn doing that. So how do we feel about sacrificing a creature? Do we want that? Yeah, I think we don't mind. This will let them attack with these both creatures, but I think I'm okay with that, because I would rather like counter something bigger. For now we have nothing to do next turn, so... Yeah, although it lets them attack with this 6 damage, I think I would rather save the Syncopate later if we can go... Oh, and they didn't even do it, so even better for us. And call them onto Chocobo, although we are kind of flooded here, it's not bad at all, because it can tap the Terra so it doesn't transform on next turn. And now we need to be aware of this X-Death, because it's getting closer to reaching that 6 permanents that they want. So let's call them on Chocobo. Take one of their creatures out. Bring one of our creatures in. Playing a land. triggering some stuff. I'm not going to attack because they are incentivized to block with this creature, so I definitely don't want this trade here. So let's just keep attacking in the air. Little by little, we're getting there. Okay, we still have the Syncopate for 1 mana, in case they try to play this again, like Resentful Revelation or anything big. Oh, that's sad. My Wyvern was so happy. Okay, Town Greeter. So this X-Death is going to transform. Yeah, already 8 creatures, 8 permanents in their graveyard. Okay. And now that 3/3 became a 7/3 huge creature here. Not good for us at all. Okay, so what does our turn look like? Yeah, they're not going to trade this X-Death for a Chocobo, and this has Trample, so it's easy for us to just attack here because they're not going to block, so this damage is fine. Wyvern is an easy play, and hold up Syncopate. Yeah, I think that's the best we can do for now. They are attacking back for 7, but we are attacking as well, so... And we have a Syncopate for 4 mana, so depending on what I try to do here... Okay, just tapping, so they're actually bringing a big creature to the board. Oh, it's a flying one. Yeah, I hadn't seen this. Okay, yeah, it's also fly, so yeah, a little bit too big for us. If they attack, I'm actually going to offer the trade here, because, yeah, I would rather take this out of the board instead of taking 7, since this 6 is already going to hit us pretty hard, so... Please have a trick. Please have, like, anything. Yes! Okay. Yeah, this is the time when we can maybe turn this game around, because we're not only countering their spell, we are going to be countering their spell, tapping down their best creature, killing the other one, and then we are free to keep on attacking them next turn with more damage. So, yeah. Very, very sweet spot for us. Maybe this will cost them the game, so amazing for us here. Now we have 2 options, just call the Chocobo, the Mountain Chocobo again, but we already have a land to attack well. And I'm actually going to Combat Tutorial the Ultra, so it can attack past this Town Greeter. Let's see, so we draw, we pump our creature. Okay. We have the land to play, or call the Mountain Chocobo again to do this. Yeah, I think I'm already calling the Mountain Chocobo, so we can make sure we hit them even harder. Not even offering the option of chump blocking. And then next turn we can like call again and tap this Esper Terror again. So yeah, big creatures. Yeah, hitting for 3 each would be very significant here. So yeah, I can see them already chumping. Okay, and now it's easy for us to have like at least 2 lethal creatures for next turn. So even if they bring like 1 big dinosaur, it's not going to be enough. Yeah, just a regular removal, not going to be enough. And I think that's it. Okay. Although we flooded out a bit in the beginning, I think they didn't apply like big creatures to the board as I would expect from a kind of a rampy deck. So yeah, they were actually not even ramping, right? They were just like Jund. Yeah, it was just a straight up Jund deck. Yeah, they weren't clear if they were doing the graveyard thing or ramping thing, so... Our consistency of playing 4 mana spells was the deal breaker there. That turn with the Syncopate and Ultros triggering, yeah. Ultros is just obnoxious, as the name say. Let's go into game 2. Okay, game 2 here on the play. I think it was my favorite. This is my favorite opening. We have had some of these openings before. We can start with a tapped land, make sure that we have the right mana when we need that. 2 drop, and then followed by a removal spell. So even if they bring something to the board, we can easily remove it and start applying some pressure. Although it sounds weird, like, oh, spending 3 mana, spending a premium removal spell here. The thing is, if we do this right now, we start opening the way for us to count them Chocobo, tap their next creature, attack again, tap the next creature, attack again. So what seems like spending a removal here, if we think about the next turns, will make a big difference for us. So let's hope we can leverage on that, you see? So again, bring in one creature, and then we can already tap it out. So you see, removing that first creature is already allowing us to hit them for 4. Now, if they bring another creature, we can tap them down again, and then next time hit them for 5. And this adds up real quick. Like, assuming they only bring one creature on the board, we can put them down to half of their life total next turn. So this is where we want to be. And even if they remove one of our creatures, probably the Ultros here, we can still hit them for 3, so, and add to the board again. So worst case scenario, we lose a creature, they don't add to the board, we hit them for 3. Best case scenario, we are going to tap whatever this is out, the Warrior Sword. Okay, so this is also going to be tapped. And I'm going to do something interesting here. I'm going to tap all my blue sources for them not to know that we have the Syncopates, and make them think that we have the Thunder Magic. So we can do a kind of a bluff here while we're still attacking. So you see, this way we don't pass the priority anytime for them to see what we're doing here. And if you think about it, we already have like now 6 lands to keep on calling the Mountain Chocobos. So Ultra's doing all the hard work here, just like tapping creatures every single turn and bringing more creatures to the battlefield. Don't attack. Yeah, attacking here is not a good idea. Yeah, leave them back. Okay, so are we? Yeah, we're not attacking to here because like they want to block with this Ifrit. So I think now is a good turn. We don't need to tap anything down. Let's just play our Wyvern to bring something in the air, and then keep our Syncopate open. They are the ones who need to run after, come after us. So if you can counter anything for a 2, yeah, whatever it is. What is this? Beginning of your upkeep. Exile the card, and they may play not only their card, but another one. Yeah, since we have like another Syncopate to spare, let's not take the risk of them finding anything useful. Because I can see us losing the game with them like playing 2 spells a turn and going after us, so. Okay, now I think it's time to call more Mountain Chocobos, because like the birds we already having to play, they are forcing their Warrior Sword and then like just tapping a creature. Sounds like what we need to do. Like, let's take the 4 toughness one. Never fail on our land drops. Yeah, and then attack with flying and force them to jump. I want them to trade here, because if they trade, we can just hold the creature they have left, so. Yeah, now they're at 6, and just one big attack could kill them. If they just bring one creature to the board, it's definitely not going to be enough, so. Yeah, I think we tempo them out, like, very, very well. It's exactly what this kind of deck is trying to do. And this is totally on the back of our Ultros here. Play on turn 2, so, hey, here's the tip. If you see this guy, kill this guy. Yeah, don't let it live, don't let it breathe. Yeah, don't let it lay eggs, whatever, so. Okay, Thunder Magic, so yeah, we don't even need to go far here. Yeah, whichever direction we chose to go here, either tapping, just tapping the creature and adding another to the board, just removing altogether, like anyway, would work very, very well for us. So. Clean win, being on the play there made the whole difference, because if they had like 2 plays, Ultros would never have attacked the first time, and then if they have 2 creatures on the board, tapping just one doesn't necessarily mean we would be able to attack. So yeah, the difference between play and draw when you are in a strategy like this, trying to tempo them out, tapping one single creature, if they do 1 for 1, and that was what they were doing, it's not going to work out, because we were always like not only interacting with their creature, tapping them down, but also adding something to the board. So. If we could have like 5 more games like that, it would be amazing. Why not? Okay. On the play again, we have a solid start, and I'm actually going to keep, although I don't have the blue lands, because between Blazing Bomb and summon Brynhilder, we can find something. We have draws for it, we have board presence early on in the game, and we can definitely be punished, but let's hope not. Nice. Blazing Bomb to start. Okay, nothing yet. And already not punished. I think I'm still going with Brigadier first, because it can give haste to our next creatures, even if they are not the strongest. And we can already set up our next turns, because like our curve stops at 5, so... Yo, okay, yeah, we got unfortunately, we got the worst possible thing to be here. Syncopate would only protect us if they try to play a trick or something on our turn, so it's probably not going to happen. And if they killed it, it's actually good for us here, because then it would be one less removal spell for our Ultros here. Okay, Rapier. And a land. Okay. So we can play Syncopate, but we don't need to. Right now I'm thinking just about combat tutorial, the Blazing Bomb, so it gets bigger and later we'll be able to remove something bigger. Since we don't have any 4-drops to use these creatures later, so I think I'm going to make sure this is a bit bigger. Okay, no 4-mana non-creature spells yet. And I'm going to attack with both, because I don't need either of these creatures to have haste on the next turn, and I actually want them to be one creature down on the battlefield, so later we can start doing that Ultros thing. So let's offer them the trade. Yeah, they didn't take, so 2 damage. Good. 15 to 20. I like where we are at now. For now we have a 2-mana plays for next turn, so flooding the board with creatures. I expect a black and red deck to have like much removal, so giving them lots of things to interact with. It's interesting. Okay, giving haste to something. Let's play a land. Let's give haste to our Ultros. Okay, and then a Sahajin. And attack. Okay, alright, attacking for 4. Although next turn we don't have anything to do for now, only 2 6-mana plays. Ice Flan can come down, tapping something, and then we already have like 5 power into play. They're probably going to leave this, at least they should leave this horror here on the back to block. Let's see what they do. They don't have good attacks with the hero here into my Sahajin, unless they want to also spend a trick of some sort, so... Opponent in the tank here. Yeah, again, they're supposed to do something about these Ultros here. It's the best card on the board right now. Unfortunately, we can't leverage on that. We have like many spells we could use here. Okay. Yeah. I told him, he just wouldn't hear me. But yeah, killing a 1/3 when you have a 1/1 is not bad at all. And if we could like pump it even once, a 2/4 would also block his other creature. So yeah, this wasn't necessarily a bad call. Okay, now we're in trouble. Because hitting for 8 is pretty strong. And I don't know if just like killing this creature here is the way to go. Ooh, okay. Wyvern was a good placeholder here. So it can still keep the hero in check and let our Blazing Bomb keep on attacking. Okay, adding a flying creature. We are going to that point that if they have like one good turn with again 2 spells hitting us for 8 would be disaster for us. So I'm inclined to play like I know I'm supposed to play one of these 2 creatures next turn. So let's see, depending on what they do, if they take a more defensive stance, I would cycle the Gigas to tap their creature down. If they attack and come for us, we maybe can kill them with like the hasty giant next turn. So depending on their attitude, we can see. But yeah, unless we draw land, I won't keep these 2 cards. So since we don't know if we're drawing a land or not, I would rather have the safety, being sure that one of these 2 are coming down next turn. Okay, let's see how they attack. Yeah, so they don't have us. They probably don't have a spell here. Let's let them hit us for 8. Okay, so now we're down to 8. Okay, if they don't add... Okay, they added to the board with Garland. Okay, good creature. Okay, how... Yeah, okay. This is 3 mana to equip, and since they didn't play anything else, it makes me think that they don't have they don't have a non-creature spell here, they don't have a removal spell here, and because of that, I want us to be able to attack and pressure them. We'll be hitting for 2 here, 2... Yeah, we'll be offering lethal, forcing them to block. And if they're forced to block, they don't have anything to hit us on the way back. The other alternative would be tapping the Garland with the Flan, attacking for just 2. They wouldn't be able to attack us. Yeah, let's be aggressive. Yeah, I think we can do it. And of course, this makes us not necessarily need to draw anything, yeah. Right now, we don't have any advantage of just playing the Mountain Chocobo. Adding a 2/2 on this board is not the best, so let's go big and see how they react. Okay. I could have also just like offered, like traded the Blazing Bomb for the Garland here and then hit them for 7, but this way I'm leaving them the option of taking 1 more creature down off the board, so... I'm taking some risk here by not considering that they have a removal spell, but the way they played here, like these two removal spells here before, and like they played kind of slow their last turn, so they didn't feel so confident about what they were doing. These are the kind of signals you were supposed to read, and this is a very good thing that you get with experience. So, not saying that I have all the experience or whatever, but knowing how to play on our opponent's behavior is definitely a good one. Okay, they're down to 2. I don't see how they can kill us unless they have, again, like 2 removal spells. But we probably ruled that out of the equation last turn. So now we have 2 little attackers, like a trample one, so they can't just leave anything back to block, and a flying one. So, and if they have 2 removal spells, okay, it was a bad call, but statistically, it's not that likely. And even if they kill, like, if they kill 1 creature, they will still have to fight the other one, and we can bring more stuff to the board, so... They don't have the 7 mana, so they were being at 5 there was good for us, because if they had 6, they could, like, already bring Chaos back from the graveyard. And that's not the case, so... Okay, gain 2 life was huge for them here. Okay, so now we definitely trade here. Keep ourselves healthy. They are still on a 2-turn clock, so... Okay, let's put them down to 2. And I'm not playing the land just to show them that we have this opportunity. Although, maybe, yeah, there's no... Yeah. There's no harm in just, like, playing the land, keeping 1 card in hand. Okay. So we have a blocker. They would have to have, like, equip here, plus a non-creature spell. Okay, when Roman's attack, that's not the case. Only when it attacks that it would, yeah, bring an equipment up to a creature. They could... Okay, and we're good to go. Another win. Tight one this time. They definitely could have had us there, like, once or twice, but yeah, reading the board there made a huge difference. Maybe if a bad reading, we could have been more defensive, and this wouldn't necessarily pay off. Like, the game could go long. We had already cast our combat training that in this type of scenario, you need to think about your deck, like knowing your deck. I knew that my only real source of card advantage was the combat tutorial, so I had already cast that, so a longer game wouldn't necessarily benefit us. They had that 7 mana creature that could come back from the graveyard. The only other alternative would be the Lunar Whale. So yeah, I know I needed to be the one pushing damage, trying to attack more instead of a defensive stance, and it paid off. Very nice. Okay. Playing against J-Mac. Not a good hand for us. No 2-drop, no 1-drop, no interaction. Just like 2 Wyverns. Our opponent would have to be also a slow position if they wanted to do something, so I think I'm going to mulligan. Although we have the right mana, not having any interaction. Ooh, that's bad too. I'm inclined to keep because like a five, keeping five, it's too much for us. Like it's just too bad. Taking a land down because we can go after the land with the Gigas if needed. And now at least we have some kind of interaction. Okay, you have like 2 pieces of interaction, so we can like hold them back until we find our land. Okay, second turn no land. And I think I'm already going to cycle now, given the option to, because we need to make sure we don't spend our next turn doing anything. Okay, yeah. So I'm cycling this right now, so we can have the 2 mana for a suplex on the next turn. Okay, yeah, this is definitely getting dangerous. Of course, statistics playing, sometimes we won't get the best hands, but let's make sure we can hold back some more. Oh, okay, that's a big dude. Who are you? Okay, so Emmet Selch, Unsundered. When it enters our attack, draw a card, discard a card. Okay, but yeah. So, but it only makes a big impact when there is 14 things more on the board, and then during your turn you may play cards from. Oh, okay. Jeez, this is Yagmoth's Wheel here. Okay, so yeah, we don't want that to flip, but right now I don't even have any way to interact. Jeez. Yeah, we may have lost this one even before it started. Oh, and then he plays like... And it's simply one of the best cards in the whole set. In Genova, it adds counters to the creatures, and then when a mutant dies, and this creature now, like this Emmet just became a mutant, you would draw cards equal to the power. So imagine if trying to remove these now would give them 3 more draws. So yeah, I think we're pretty much done here. Rare into Mana Screw. Yeah, we're going to pick up our loss here. Yeah, and this is too late for that right now. I think it can keep playing, but I don't see like now both these creatures are outside of the Thunder Magic's range, so I think I'm going to play the Lunar Wave because if there is any way for us to get out of this is by playing blockers and then like avoiding getting more damage done. Oh, and now it's even bigger. Okay, so now it's instead of 1 counter is going to give 2 counters. Yeah, no, another creature is just too big for us to deal with. Okay, the other alternative would be playing Sahajin and then Thunder Magic. In this case, the Chocobo would be something, but yeah, it's still too much for us. Although the Realm Sketching would be good, like copying Genova, we're already too far behind here. Yeah, we don't even have the mana to do that, so... Yeah, Thunder Magic here doesn't help. Yeah, it's the only thing we can do, like... Discounting if they don't have any kind of any form of interaction, because they could also be holding some kind of counter spell of sorts here. So yeah, right now this is the best we can do. Yeah, and we don't even have another land on top here, so we would be incentivized to attack. This doesn't have vigilance, so it would be either attacking, getting totally completely tapped out. Yeah, we shall be conceding soon here. Yeah, very unfortunate that like all of our draws were also like blue spells for the first turn, so like we got a suplex that helped us, but like other than that, we're just like blue cards everywhere. And actually, if this hand was the same one, but instead of like blue card, let's imagine the other. Yeah, now we're there. Let's imagine us going the other way around there with just like lots of red cards, a little blue interaction, and then blue lands. It would be easier to keep because we know we have more blue cards in our deck. But yeah, we were not on the play. We went to 5, so it's the kind of game you're not supposed to win anyway, so it's fine. Right now we're sitting at 3-1, so it's never going to be a disaster here. I would like to pick up at least one more win to make sure we are good to go. And yeah, it's definitely keeper now. Yeah, we have both colors of mana. Although we don't play the Blazing Bomb on turn 1, we don't have any place for turn 2, so it's fine to play it. on turn 2 as well, especially if they don't add anything to the board. Okay, that pause they had right there makes me think that they have Thunder Magic. So I'm going to start with the Blazing Bomb here. Oh, it's not that. Okay, maybe Lightning Bolt? Yeah, they could have Lightning Bolt here. It's one of those extra bonus sheets cards, so knowing that the Ultras wouldn't even activate, it's a good one. Okay. Ooh, third land. Huge deal here. Yeah, we needed this third land so could unlock our Wyverns. Yeah, let's go for the most mana efficient play here. The Wyvern, adding a flyer to the board. Although this UFO also flies. I have no idea what they're doing. Okay, putting lands. Okay, so blue-red landfall? Okay, yeah, that's kind of weird, but... Okay, this has reach, so not good for us to attack with the Wyvern. This is 04. We could offer just like attacking with these two creatures to see if they block, because like if they trade for at least one is good. If this attacks, it's going to be fine. So I'm actually going to offer a small attack here. I don't think they're inclined to block. If they block, it's just the UFO blocking. So yeah, there's at least one damage. They are not hitting us for a lot on the way back, so we can play another Wyvern here. Still adding to the board, making them a bit uncomfortable with this number. Yeah, like 5 creatures on turn 4 is not what you want to be seeing on the other side of the board. So when you're sitting across the table, okay, one more damage. Yeah, they definitely have something there they are holding back. Yeah, I don't think this is going to be triggering. Like they have 0 towns. Okay, yeah, now they have 1 town, so it could become a 1/4. Okay, the Regalia. Let's see what this does. Whenever it attacks, you get land cards. Yeah, so they're going on the landfall thing. And then put that card on battlefield tapped, and the rest in the bottom in any order. Okay, so they are kind of offering a trade, but again, this red mana open makes me think they have Lightning Bolt. And I definitely don't want to throw these 2 cards, losing being blown out. So yeah, yeah, they definitely have something. So I don't want to be blown out here. So. I think we need to find a land here. We can tap Enchanted Creature. Not the case, so we can't even tap the Regalia. We can attack them for a bunch. And let's see, what do we want to add to the board? Sahagin or Ultros? Okay, Ultros is the best one. But at the same time, I'm still fearing that, so Sahagin would be a better offer for them. Alternatively, I think I'm going to Blaze Bomb this, because it's the only creature that can crew the Regalia. So it wouldn't necessarily force them to do anything, but brings they would have to add stuff to the board if they wanted to keep on attacking with this Regalia, and this could give us some kind of window to interact since we haven't found our 4th land. So okay, block 1, take 4. Oh, this is what they had. Yeah, didn't expect that. Okay. Okay, so we lose a creature. Okay, so what now? Yeah, so Blazing Bomb here. Yeah, I still think so. Now the Sleep Magic, I think, goes here. It needs to be an enchanted creature, so they only have 2 cards in hands, and taking down the Flying Blocker would allow us to keep hitting them with the Wyvern. We are never going to be able to Sleep Magic the Regalia, so although sounds counterintuitive, I think it's the best we can do. So, and I wouldn't play the Sleep Magic in here otherwise, so it's totally fine. I wouldn't just like naturally play just to remove a blocker, but since it's a flying blocker, a 1/4 specifically because of the Wyvern, yeah. And now we just need to find our 4th land to start to bring us back to the game, because right now I don't like where we are at. Okay, with our 4th mana, I'm thinking about like we could either Realms catch the Regalia and have ourselves our own 4/4. Oh, yeah, or we can copy this. Much better option for us. Okay. We're taking 4 again. Not very comfortable, but there's nothing to do. Maybe start holding these heroes back so they can block. And okay, nice. Huge. finding this land there. So yeah, it's time for us to copy this. Let's copy their Attila. Oh, oh yeah, no, yeah, okay. So I thought about like maybe attacking first to see if they had anything, but like letting the Sahajin attack. Also good for us here. Okay, yeah, hitting them for 4, so balancing the life totals. If they didn't find a big spell there, we could definitely turn this game around. Ooh, but they did. Yeah, okay. Yeah, suplex now would be very good to kill this. Yeah. I think it's the only thing we can go. Yeah, we already need to start going to chump mode here, because next turn they can play another Retrieve the Esper for an even bigger creature here. And yeah, we're not doing well again. Their deck's definitely good. Like their start was kind of weird with Sable Tender and the UFO, but drawing extra cards like Regalia giving them extra lands was huge. Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, I think like this one turn, like one turn with this on the board was already enough to take us out of this game. So not hitting the land drops there that also hurt us a bit, because like we couldn't keep developing our board. Yeah, being that far behind, yeah, there's not just nothing to do. Yeah. Oh, 2 losses in a row is sad after 3 wins. But as I said before, we already avoided the disaster. Hitting, as I said here, hitting 3 wins gives you 1,000 gems instead of just 250. So 250 here, like, so we have a much bigger prize here, and then just with one more now is only 40% more, so the difference here is not that big. 4 to 5 wins, like, negligible difference, but is like, if you don't have any gems, is the one that actually makes you play another draft for free. So at least we hit the non-disaster spot. Let's see if we can go to the turnaround point. Okay, so being on the play, having good mana. We are not asking for much. Okay, so apparently we were asking for much. Okay, we're not on the play, but this is a playable card. We have interaction, we have a creature, we have counter spell, so we have a bit of everything. And if they don't have any plays on turn 2, okay, they didn't, so we can start being the driver's seat here. Yeah, 2 planes, so I don't know what they have, but now we have either Sleep Magic or Syncopate here. Ooh, they're playing, yeah. Yeah, it makes me think that they have more than one color and they're kind of mana screwed. And now we're in the driver's seat with Syncopate, and the Gigas can get us the red. Do I care about this? Yeah, no. I don't. 2-2 is not the end of the world for us. It's more important for us to counter a 4-mana play they could have. So yeah, this is the kind of thing we are trying to avoid. So yeah, much more important than just finding our red source here. Okay, yeah. I'm getting kind of annoyed for not finding this, but definitely don't want to realm sketch either of these cards. Heal Gigas can still save us here. Yeah, maybe I should have like Gigas for a mountain here. Yeah, it would have been better. For now, let's just hold back. Because then I would hold the Gigas and do the Sleep Magic, so I would use my mana a little bit better. This way, I'm kind of bluffing another counter spell, but we're not going to do that. Do we let them attack? Okay. If they attacked, I would block just to force them to do something. Since they didn't do, they're probably afraid of us having some kind of interaction here. And yeah, this hurts us, you see. So if last turn we had already cycled and played the land, right now we would have 2 options here. We wouldn't have the mana, but we have 2 options. Right now we only have 1, so let's summon our card advantage here. Again, not interested in sketching anything. Okay, and now another Sahajin we can already play. So very nice here. It's almost like we played a creature, drew a card, added to the board. And now realm sketching, even if we don't have like the most interesting of targets, just having 2 unblockable creatures could be interesting here for us. So Okay, let's see. So if we cast a creature, not the case, we can do something. So I think just the Chocobo. Let's start calling our birds. Now we have another red to play. Okay. I'm already playing this land because we want to keep on hitting our land drops. No good attacks in the summon here, but hitting for 2. I'm not interested in sleep magic here. It's just hitting for 1. It's not blocking, so not a big deal. And I'm also not worried about playing the lands that I could save for later, because like we still have plenty of spells to cast. We already have 6 lands in play, so maybe we can like double spell in a future turn. So okay, forcing them to spend a good removal spell on a small creature, not bad at all. Okay, even more lands, not happy about this, but still not copying a simple creature like that. I don't know if they're mono white or they're screwed in their second color, but okay. We call from hand. Yeah, we are not calling from hand. Let's call from the graveyard, because then they don't know we have that, and we use the 6 mana. We don't have another spell to cast, so yeah. When you are in doubt between these, not to save mana, but save mana for what? So we are using all of our mana, playing land. So now this is an uncomfortable block. Like if they want to block, they need to trade, and we can do this. And another reason to offer these trades, because then their board is cleaner, and at one point we won't have the unblockable feature on our Sahajin. So, oh, and they found their second color. Okay. Let's see if something we need to... Okay. Nice. Okay, do we want to copy that and have like a bigger Sahajin? Okay, so now we hit that sweet spot. Like with 8 mana, we can double spell. And what are our 2 spells going to be? Okay, I'm thinking about one 4 mana spell and another not. So we can like trigger this turn and trigger this again on the next one. So the options would be like Sleep Magic this and Cow the Mountain Chocobo and again offer a trade. I don't know if we're interested in only having one creature on the board or just like killing this, exiling this. And sleep, no, yeah, that would be bad. Like using both of our removal spells is not what we want to be doing. So yeah, we can also just like, okay, so let's add to the board with Column and Chocobo. Still adding to the board, still hitting our land drops. And then I think I want to Sleep Magic this. It all has Vigilance, so it stops attacking us, and then it's there. And I'm going to just hit them for 7 and offer the trade, because even if they trade this, we still have another creature. Yeah, they didn't want to do that, and now we are in a very, very good position to just close out the game next turn with, again, 2 spells. So, and if they have something very, very big, we can just go unblockable and... Okay. Not going unblockable anymore, but they at least don't have like so much mana to do something that meaningful, hopefully. Yep, not that meaningful. Okay, let's keep on putting pressure on them. Ooh, that was a great draw. I think that does it, actually. Yep, Ultros being as obnoxious as it can be. Because with that we can Ultros and then tap and then kill a creature. And then tap something. We could, yeah, we should have also copied that, but yeah, now it doesn't even matter anymore. The thing is about the 4 mana cost. And that's about it. Okay, yeah, so a little mis-sequencing there. Like, the best one would be to... Let's just analyze this again. The best sequence would be to copy this Moogle, because then we would have like a flying creature for a future turn in case they had anything, and added a counter to a creature if they had anything, and then suplexed it. So, would be the best one, but a win is a win. And now I can say I'm happy. Like, the deck is definitely good and deserves at least the 4 or 5 wins to say it's like... If you draft a deck like this, even without like the huge rare bombs or mythics, okay, you can still find these 4 or 5 wins with your good uncommons and payoffs. So, and to be completely honest, that's why I play. You know, like I don't mind getting to 7 wins all the time. So at least like saying that, okay, I can play, get 4 or 5 wins, and then play again and play again. So of course, sometimes you're going to hit that like terrible 0-3 spot, but that's why we are here. Leading off with a mountain, just because to not know them them know that we have counter spells. And again, between these two, I always like to start with Sahajin, because if they have like some aggressive creature they see that we're blocking, and if they want to spend a removal here, would much rather them spend the removal here instead of Ultros. So I'm thinking about that third Ultros that we let go, if it would have been a good idea. Okay, they have nothing, but Esper like could be a Towns deck, could be a control-y thing. Let's attack first. Now we have no other option. I'm not going to save these, especially since we don't have any other creatures to play. The payoffs for mana spells are not even here, so just playing this out, it's not bad at all. Okay, so what do we have here? Whenever an artifact you control, you put a counter, so this grows, and this also taps, so it's kind of a temple creature. Yeah, using up all of our mana here, it's definitely interesting. We can add like 3 power to the board and sleep that so they don't have blocks, allowing us to attack for 3 now. It's not a big attack, but surely adds up. And kind of forces them to add to the board again instead of holding like counterspell or removal. If they have removal, it's great for us, so if they spend their turn removing, is good. If they don't, it's just hitting on the air. Okay, 1 mana left. Okay, 2 mana. Nice, amazing draw for us. It's actually probably one of the best draws we could have had, because now we can hit our land drops for our big creatures, we can tap down their blocker, the whole package. And one thing I really liked about this theme is that even if we got counterspelled, the effects would still go on the stack, so like we would still be affecting them somehow, like growing our creature and doing the rest. So now I'm thinking they may have some trick. And thinking about our last game when we got battle menued, making tokens, I'm thinking about just hitting with these two. And I'm okay if they like spend the battle menu just to create a creature and eat this, but I don't want them eating my Ultra, so yeah, I don't know what they have, but they do have something. So, oh, just Dreams of Laguna. Yeah, I sacrificed like 2 extra points of damage for being sure that Ultros lives, because now like another mana also unlocks calling the Mountain Chocobos again. So, okay, Hack Ties. Since we're definitely the aggro here, I'm going to keep the hasty creature, discard the Flan, and Reno. Okay, 2 small creatures. Yeah, they kind of played off curve there, because, you know, like turn 3 they played the 3 drop, but like when you are behind, just adding 2 drops, not that powerful. And again, we can offer some interesting trades for them. Okay, so a Sahajim wasn't the best draw for us, but we can definitely keep attacking. Okay, so right now, let's go. Let's attack. I'm not offering Ultros. Let's attack flying. Yeah, let's attack with almost everything. We want them to make some trades so they don't have that board presence. Because this, like, it's hitting for 7 is quite a bit when they are at 11, so makes them, like, lose at least 1 creature. And just 1 toughness here, terrible spot for them to be. Okay, trade and trade, okay. It's fine, they're still taking 4. So, if you think about what they did there, like, they added to the board, they already lost to the board, we still have 4 power. Adding more things. So we still have our main attackers here on the board. They just lost, they spent the whole turn just trying to hold back, and they still lost life, so very great place to be. Okay, Lock Cold is a good one. Yeah, Lifelink is the kind of thing that could bring them back. Apparently they don't have anything to do. Yeah, again, pay attention to, yeah, the speed this happens, so like shows us that they don't have like some kind of removal spell. They could have a counter spell, but not a classic removal. So for that reason, I'm going to go for the Mountain Chocobos again. So although we're not casting our big creatures, we're using them for something else. Very important. Okay. And this might do it. If this goes uncountered, this might do it, because we can tap there, lifelink blocker, get 2 unblockable creatures ourselves, and just hit them for a little. Yep. Damn. Sahajim is much better than I expected. Like, when you think about it, hitting unblockable, a big thing, and Ultros is just... He's just a beast. Like, he's a rare in disguise, you know? Come on. Making all your regular spells being a 2-for-1. And when we see a card like Caldemont and Chocobo, that wouldn't be a great card. Like, just adding a small creature to the board and getting a land is not the biggest deal. Like, you wouldn't pay 4 mana for a 2-2 creature that would bring a land to your hand. But when it also taps and stuns, that's just too much. Okay. Speaking of which, yeah, they like compliments. That's why they showed up. We're not on the play, but we have a 2-drop into possibly another 2-drop if they kill the first one. Oh, come on, the deck is answering our prayers. So we have a 2-drop into a 3-drop into spells. So lands and spells, all we can ask for. And we don't even feel bad about playing, because even if it dies, it can still do stuff for us. Okay, so first step, let's attack. See if they have anything. Nope. Dragoon's Wyvern. Not a problem if they had a counter spell. And yeah, we already have 3 creatures and they're still doing nothing, so... Great place to be. That's kind of weird, they're like still doing nothing. Like, because doing nothing up to the 3rd turn, like, I could blame on like bad lands, but they have 4 colors and they have all of them on the board already, so... I don't know what they're doing, but clearly a slow deck. Since they are slow, there's no reason for us to rush. Like, I don't need to play the Count the Molten Chocobo right now, but I have another payoff on the board. And yeah, if they just play a simple creature, as big as it could be, sorry, but yeah. In 2025, you can have your plan on, okay, let's wait until turn 5 to play your first spell. And although we are hitting them for little bits of damage, it's already added to 7 and now even more. So... it's not... I'm not criticizing like the opponent itself. We don't know their deck. It's actually it's clearly a deck that has the right colors, like hits all the right colors, but not adding to the board was their mistake here, and it's going to cost them like a lot. Like, if this Ahriman came down turn 3, would be totally fair. We wouldn't expect anything different, but you see, maybe their keep there wasn't the best. Like, not having any plans. And we're Platinum, ranking up quite nicely. And at 6 wins, so yeah, this is what I expected from this deck. Like, getting to 6 wins is what I expected, so those 2 losses in a row there were kind of like put us in a tough spot, but like 3 wins, 2 losses, 3 wins. Let's hope the loss doesn't repeat itself. Okay. Oof, tough one. We're on the play, which is good, and we have the first play here set up for us. I'm going to keep because Summon Brynhilder already gives us a 1 extra draw. So 1 extra draw may be all we need, and yes, already fine. This land was huge. Okay, I think this was probably the best we could have gotten. Like, we don't need to show them what we have, but having this hasty Wyvern can okay. Yes, and we already have the haste working here for us. Sets us up nicely to start adding pressure from an earlier turn. Apparently they're on some kind of Teamer ramp deck, so I expect lots of landfall here. Yeah, either blue-green or green-red are the landfall cards. Like, blue-green more ramping and having big stuff at the end of the game, and red with the landfall triggers, so hitting them early for 2, it's a good place to be. We have already used the card, so even if this never attacks, it okay, gave haste to a creature and draws a card, so not bad for 2 mana. And already having a flying creature causes that situation we have mentioned before, where they need to be worried about taking 2 damage flying every turn, and then our Ultros can start like applying pressure with this. So okay, not adding to the board, great for us. Syncopate, great for us. Okay, I think now Ultros comes down, because now they are given 2 options. Like they could either tap this creature to add mana and not have a blocker, or play something bigger. Their hand is pretty full, like they're at 7 cards, like 8 cards, so let's hope they try to go for a 5 mana play, a big play. Because a key Syncopate here may like put us pretty far ahead in the game. Okay, Chocobo Kick. Unfortunately, gotta let that happen. Let's hope they have a 3 mana play now. Oh, they don't. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of bad because both their blockers are pretty good. Anyway, we're still going to tap them. These Thrasios, as the game goes long, can cause big trouble for us, because like 4 mana, Scry doesn't seem like a lot, but if you can hold mana every turn, could be a big thing. Like imagine them drawing cards every single turn is too much. 3-1, good blocker. Big deal. Okay. Another ramp spell. Apparently they're not hitting their payoffs yet, but at least the 2-2 doesn't block so well, our Chocobo. Okay, what are we thinking about? Yes, they already have 6 mana, 7 with the Gobu Gardener going up, so I don't expect Syncopate's not going to be very good in this matchup. We're flooding a bit, so I'm thinking about just going for the 6 mana Chocobo here, so we can hold for a possible double spell in the future. And I'm going to tap. Yeah, I don't mind if they trade our Chocobo for the Ignis. So the 2-4 is more important for us right now. We're almost out of mountains. I'm going to offer this trade, because this generates value. You know, like Ignis can generate value later on in the game, like with food tokens, and undo what we have been doing here. Oof, that's a huge one. Yeah, now I'm regretting the Syncopate, but at least we can tap this down for some time. Yeah, so yeah, I don't see us having any other options. Let's tap down this Behemoth. Get our last mounting. Unfortunately, we don't even have more mountains to get with the next Counter Mountain Chocobo. And I'm thinking now if I want to just play the untapped land, because like we have land drops until the end of the game, so let's stack them for 3. Hope they don't have, like, at least they have something really, really big that would get countered, so we can get ourselves out of here. Because another Behemoth would be actually kind of good. I wouldn't mind at all. Yeah, another Chocobo Kick. Party's over. Okay, 6 mana play, maybe a Rexor? Oh, come on. Oh, and this is really bad because... Oh, it's only they only have 1 permanent card, but already having a permanent card is bad for us. Okay, I got a Flam. And yeah, right now we have mana for... They have mana to activate Thrasios, so probably they're going to start applying some card advantage for us. And we have a choice between just tapping one of their creatures down to have a clean attack, and letting this Behemoth attack, which doesn't seem like a good deal. So I think just tapping this down doesn't push us very far into the game, so I don't see any good plays. I think we may be in trouble here. Like, come on, drawing all these lands here. Like, at least 3 of these lands were drawn, not found with the Counter Mountain Chocobo, so it was a big deal for us. Yeah, I think we're just tapping. It's a matter of what we're tapping. Yeah, we're not attacking into a Death Touch creature. They're still at 13 life, so let's just hold this Behemoth a little bit more. If we can make them stop attacking, is good. I'm actually going to play the Baron just because it comes into play tapped. We're not attacking, we're not using this mana, so... Okay. Our best draw would be our second Ultros here. Yeah, Daedalus is probably going to beat us here, because like they're either getting lands into the battlefield or... Oh, jeez. Yep, seems like we're not getting there. 6 wings going to be our limit. Very, very good draw from the opponent. Like, come on. And another lane here. We definitely got flooded. We drew at least 4 more lanes than we needed to. So, yeah, I don't see us getting out of here. Yeah, have to just pass, trying to maybe trade with one of these creatures. We could call them the Mountain Chocobo again, but just calling an empty board, I would rather try and syncopate something they play, so... Yeah, and if we're being honest, how many spells did we cast? Like 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells, 6? Yeah, 6 spells is not bad at all, but finding, like, in the total 12 lands is a bit too much, right? Okay, let's offer the trade, because we have no other option. And we don't even have a good syncopate here, because, like, they ramped so much that... Yep. Okay, how much mana they have left? Jesus, they have like 3, 6, 7 mana left. At least we can syncopate for 8. Okay, so they don't bring this back again. But if... Oh, they have 8 with the Gobble Guard. Yeah, we're just done. Like, even if we do our best, if we did our best here, yeah, they would have enough. And yeah, that's game. May look like an early concession there, but they already had a Behemoth on the board. They would have another one. We don't have like real removal spells for these things. Like even our best syncopate wasn't enough, and like yeah, it was just a bit too much. Still very good deck. I have no complaints here. Maybe this last match was maybe just a matter of finding more interaction because we didn't find like a Thunder Magic would have been better there at some spot. A good Syncopate or a good Sleep Magic would have affected better what we were doing. But we got to a point there where we were just like too far behind on the board. And this deck was not generating too much card advantage, so drawing too many lands there have hurt us, but still a great deck. Recommend drafting. Blue-red is actually the 3rd time I draft blue-red, and in all those times, I got either 7 wins twice and now 6 wins, so recommend you guys playing this kind of deck. Much fun I had, and that's it for today, guys. Thank you very, very much. See you next time.